Hi there. I'm Grimith, and this is the Civilization 4 main menu. It's been 3 weeks since I played through Nobles Club 191 as a teaching tool for my inexperienced viewers. Considering the low difficulty, I didn't think it'd be so popular, or that I'd receive so many queries about game mechanics. Turns out there's knowledge I take for granted, like why I would fill my home continent with 20 cities. But I think I did a good job of answering your questions. So why are we here again? Well, there's more teaching to be done. I still have viewers who want help, despite all the Civ4 series I've done over the years that have shown off basic and advanced mechanics. Despite all the questions I've answered from viewers, not just in video comments, or on my Discord, but during live streams. Despite all the times I've pointed people to the Civ Fanatics forum to learn more. And really, that's a better resource than Rusty Grimace Brain right now. I'm out of practice with the game. Despite the Nobles Education series I recorded some years back. And you know what? I get it. I haven't just spent hundreds of hours with Civ4, I've spent a huge chunk of my life with strategy games. There's insight and experience I have that I can sort of show you, but I can't give you. You have to learn mapped situations yourself, and respond to them. Thankfully, there's a multitude of ways to play and win the game. So, let's say you load up a map, you generate it, whatever, you play it, and you lose on it. Well, one way to help better teach yourself how to respond to situations and learn and study what you did wrong is not to immediately throw yourself into a new map, which you can, but it's to replay that same map from the very beginning. Because you'll have the benefit of map knowledge. You'll know where resources are, you'll know where AIs are, but the map will play out differently. And so you can test out different things and try different ideas until you can actually get yourself a victory. Nothing wrong with replaying a map. I've certainly replayed maps before that have defeated me. I've been like, what the hell? Or even some maps I've won, I'm like, let me try something else. It's not too hard. Let's just go ahead and generate a map right now. Just fly through. Whee! By the way, this is Civilization 4, Beyond the Sword. I have the Beyond the Sword Unaltered Gameplay mod on my game. It doesn't alter the gameplay, but it changes the user interface. Hi, Winekapak. One of the strongest entities in the game, by the way. If you're having trouble playing the game, you can play as Winekapak or Mansa Musa. They're really powerful, and by you playing them, you don't allow an AI to be one of them. Why is that true? Listen, I can't go into that conversation right now. I'm trying to talk about other things. So, here we are in a map. It's great. It's wonderful. Now, I can go to an autosave. Initial, BC 4000. The save is created whenever you start up a map, when you generate it. And what that allows you to do is go right back to the beginning of it. So long as you didn't start a new game. Even if you didn't create another save, I could keep going back to this moment. Now let's start. I've seen better. All those forests there, what that tells me from what I know about the map generation is that that's compensating for me not having a lot of other amazing shit. That is a lot of forest to chop. That's pretty fun. But let's say I don't like that map. Well, when you load up the initial save, or when you first generate a map, you can regenerate, and you can find a start that you want to play. Like, say I could play this. Now, granted, Winekapak doesn't have fishing, so I'd have to research that. But there's a shit ton of floodplains, we have some hills there. All seafood resources, though. It'd be a stronger start if we actually had fishing. Maybe I don't like that start either. And you can re-roll again and again until you find something that you enjoy. Something else that you can do is stack a deck in your favor. By going to a custom game, setting variables that you would like that would make you feel more comfortable to play with, and then setting AIs that you would also feel more comfortable playing against. Not all AI personalities are equal. There's a strong difference between a Mansa Musa and a Lincoln. There's a strong difference between a Lincoln and a Napoleon. Strong difference between a Napoleon and an Elizabeth. Strong difference between an Elizabeth and a Shaka. And such. Like, in this, knowledge is garnered by playing the game a bunch and studying how the different AIs interact with each other. And also about, like, knowing, like, the mechanics of, like, how the AIs work. Like, what their personalities lean towards. Like their propensity for building units, when they'll declare war. Excuse me. Whether they have any unique interactions with them. For example, Catherine, if you reject one of her demands, you get a -2 relationship penalty with her. Gandhi, if you reject one of his demands, you don't get any penalty with him. Some AIs care far more about religion than others. Isabella is a religious zealot and will crush you, or try to, if you're a different religion than she is. Justinian feels the same way. However, Mao Zedong and Stalin don't really give a damn about religion. I can provide a resource in the video description that will help. It's like a paraphrased version of the XML files to give you like a good synopsis of the AIs and like what they lean towards, what their flavors are. That I think will be of some use to inexperienced players. Because understanding the AIs can help you understand the game and help you win the game. This knowledge is more important on higher difficulties, but can certainly help you as well if you're playing on noble difficulty. Any great strategy game can survive you knowing all of the mechanics of that game. In this scenario, or this series, I am going to replay Nobles Club 191. However, it will be on Monarch difficulty instead of Noble. Now, Noble difficulty is the most equal, I guess, the most equal of the difficulty levels. It's the difficulty level in which you and the AI are on the, per the game mechanics, the most balanced. Your cities grow at the same rate, you research at the same rate, you produce at the same rate. But there's still, like, some other quirks as well that you might not notice. For example, like, you, the human player, get 2 free wins versus the barbarians on noble difficulty. You have a bonus versus AI animals, and a smaller bonus versus, like the barbarian, like warriors and archers or whatever that might be milling around on the map. On Monarch difficulty, things change up a bit more. You don't get any free wins versus the barbarians. Your bonuses versus animals and barbarian units are reduced. I actually think they're 0 for fighting like warriors and archers of the barbarian kind. AI cities grow faster, they produce faster, your research tech costs are increased, and those AI bonuses, they ramp up progressively through the eras, so that they get more bonuses each era of the game. In addition, starting on Monarch difficulty, AIs receive additional units and technologies. And because this is a Nobles Club 191 map, or a Nobles Club map provided by Civ Fanatics Forum, it's useful to check to make sure that all this stuff was done correctly. So I'm going to zoom in as far as I can onto the map, and open up the world builder. Of course, we have seen the layout of this map rather significantly. But proper etiquette for going into a map. We need to check to make sure that the various AIs have been given their proper free archery technology. All AIs on Monarch difficulty start with archery for free. And AIs will have 2 archers. They'll start with 2 archers and a settler. Or if they have hunting, they'll start with an archer, a scout, and a settler. Basically, they just get a free archer. I also need to make sure that the barbarians start with archery, and they do not. So it's a good thing I checked this map. because the barbarians also start with archery. And on higher difficulties, the AIs will start with even more technologies and units, and have even higher bonuses, and you'll be even worse off on your penalties. We'll have to pay higher maintenance costs for cities. Inflation is more of a problem. You may not have noticed that inflation is actually in this game. It will increase your expenses as you go throughout the game. So, to succeed on a higher difficulty level, it's very useful to understand citizen management, to read a game map situation and determine what are the best tiles for you to work, because that is an advantage you will get over the AI. Even on the highest difficulty level, the deity AI is basically going to run with the same citizen management that you would if you just automated it. So it's pivotal, it's crucial that you learn how to place your citizens. Unless you're feeling particularly lazy. But it's important to be active and not reactive in those situations, to apply yourself. The technology tree, you have to learn to be more focused. Okay, so the AIs really enjoy ironworking, and they like to go after metal casting. Usually they ignore something like aesthetics and literature and music. Some of them will go after them earlier than others. Others prioritize military technologies. It's important to learn those sorts of things, because when you're playing on a higher difficulty level, you may find yourself behind in technology. And so if you have tech trading enabled, which is the default setting, you'll want to look at the technology tree and find out, what can I use as a bargaining chip, a tool to help me reach tech parity with people. Okay, they don't really have aesthetics, so let me research aesthetics and then trade that around. Or maybe I have monarchy for whatever reason. The AIs really value monarchy. I can use that to trade around. Something like that. And tile improvements. Civilization 4 tile improvements are so important because of how they magnify the yields. Building a farm here, or building a pasture here. Building a pasture here turns that into a 5-food, 1-hammer tile. Yields are so significant. In, Civilization 5, for example, it's not that big of a deal, because tile yields don't do that much compared to the base tiles. But I almost always open up with a worker in this game because of how important tile yields are. Okay, so we already have map knowledge. In the last playthrough, I ended up settling on this spot. I forsook the coast. It didn't have much in the way of value for me, and I gave up the plains cow. It's not that great of a tile. We still kept this corn and this pig, so the city had a reasonable amount of food. And I used the extra production that this gave me, because settling a city there granted my city 2 hammers. That was an extra hammer that could be magnified through things like the forge, and I would benefit from it throughout the entire playthrough. We did that. I'm going to remain there. We're going to follow a similar path, like I did with the first run, in that we are going to execute a horse archer rush against Napoleon. However, this will be more strained, because in addition to going after a horse archer rush, and we know that he has access to iron, so that once he hooks that up by researching ironworking, he'll be able to build metal units, like swordsmen and spears and axes. And if we're running into fortified spears and swords in cities with our horse archers, particularly if Napoleon has built walls, horse archer rush is dead. But in addition to going for that, I am also going to build the Great Lighthouse. The Great Lighthouse requires you to research sailing and masonry and to build a lighthouse in a city. It provides +2 trade routes in all coastal cities. This wonder is not as valuable as it could be if you had foreign trade partners or were able to settle cities off continent early. We cannot do that. However, we will build a large number of coastal cities, and this will make those cities more profitable for us until I research corporation. Now, Frederick is not the best to go after the Great Lighthouse. He starts with hunting, which, like, I still have to research agriculture and animal husbandry to hook up my food resources. He does start with mining, at least, so I can go into masonry. But I gotta research fishing and sailing and masonry, and I don't have any seafood resources nearby, so these end up just being for the Great Lighthouse. So that's rough. So what I'll end up wanting to research is agriculture first. I'll want to grab animal husbandry. We will get animal husbandry cheaper thanks to having hunting, which is another prereq. As a matter of fact, I could even research animal husbandry straight up, but I do want agriculture. So I'm going to go after those techs first, and then I'm going to run into fishing, sailing, masonry. I'm also going to want the wheel, and hell, I might even want the wheel before this stuff, but we'll just queue up the wheel right there. I'm changing my mind. The wheel will allow us to hook up resources and allow us to network to our cities. After that, I'm going to eschew pottery. While the granary is a valuable structure, it becomes more valuable with the usage of the slavery civic. Slavery is not a good choice to use on this map due to the food poor situation. There's so many hills, there's relatively few food resources. And I want writing, then I want bronze working, mathematics, horseback riding. That's a general idea. I might change that over the course of this run. Okay. I'm gonna move the settler to the same location, though. Because in addition to all of that, I am going to build the Great Lighthouse in my second city instead of my first. Yeah, I know, right? Not something I would recommend on even higher difficulty levels than this, but that's what I'm gonna do. Of course, that means that I won't get the benefit of the extra trade routes in this city, because it's not being coastal. But we'll settle plenty of coastal cities. Alright. Go ahead and get a lay of the land here. Finally, 17 minutes into the video, right? If not 18. Berlin goes there, and we start with a worker. 12-turn worker, thanks to the extra production that we're getting. There's Napoleon. The fierce warmonger Napoleon. He loves to make demands of you. He can declare war on you at pleased. He doesn't have any other target besides you on this continent. And you can see that archer out there already. Get a sight line there on Paris. I think the iron was right there on that tile. So something we'll want to keep in mind when we declare war is to pillage that tile. Borders of Berlin are about to expand. Yippee skippy. So this position helps to take more control over the continent than a position closer to the coast. In order to, like, cross to the other side, Napoleon has to go from the north. Because I don't have open borders with him, I can't do that until writing anyway, and my city is right here, preventing access. It also helps to block against any barbarian spawns with those culture borders, more so than it would if I were right there on the coastline. And of course I end up settling a city on a hill, which is more defensive. Hello, lion. Well, Lion had a reasonable shot of winning that. 32.2% chance. It's a good thing I already know about the continent's layout, right? And don't need that scout. That's rough, though.
Oh, farmers, pray
But
that
it
your
happens.
summers be wet and your winters clear.
Okay, now I want the city to grow. I'm gonna have it build a few warriors. This worker will move towards the corn tile. Hinduism has been founded. So the difficulty in Buddhism has been founded in Paris. Ah! Napoleon got a religion. I didn't actually think I'd end up seeing a religion on this continent. Well, Mansa Musa might grab most of them, if not all of them. Napoleon. Napoleon goes for a mysticism meditation. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Napoleon not that big into religion. I'll take it, sure.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy cattle.
Of course, we know the horses are down here.
And the flocks of thy sheep.
Food is important to improve first so that your city can grow, so that it can work more tiles. But you have to keep in mind that cities do have a happiness cap. Go ahead and move this to my second city location. I don't have to worry about garrisoning the city for a bit. Alright, good. I'm getting the wheel next, which will allow me to build roads. Let's farm this tile next. Right. I'll go ahead and push you here. Farm that for me, please. Fortify there for the time being. Growth. Now it's size 4. The city demands military protection.
Push your shoulder through the wheel.
Well, they're gonna have to get over it. Sounds like a personal problem to me. Careful. Lions are out there. Them lions. Gotta be scared of them lions. Killing me, Grimith. Do I want a road to this side immediately? I think so. It consumes some worker turns doing that, but we'll do that. Fortify up there on the hill. There's a worker out there. Roding around happily. Need to heal you up. Okay. Why don't you road there for me? Please.
Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah, LGWI. Yeah. Woo! Barbarian bear. That's not just a scout killer right there. That can eat warriors. Stay away from that. I said stay away from that. Stop stalking me. Mom. Go ahead and fortify you there. We'll build Hamburg there. I want a worker, and I want you to take that tile. Thank you. We'll push out the warriors so that there are more limited tiles for barbarians to spawn. Good. Paris ends up being a holy city. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Got another warrior out. Good. I want to push on this front so that I see fewer barbarians spawn over there. Okay. The city is connected with Berlin, so we'll end up seeing some trade route commerce between the two. The maintenance costs are certainly higher on this difficulty. Alright, that should be good. I'll station him there for now. And I'm going to want that City 3 location before Napoleon makes a move on it. I expect him to go down here first, and then once I take that, he'll probably hook around here. There's our horses. Okay. Napoleon fortified an archer there in a location where I'd like to fortify an archer. That's good. I'll probably end up sticking that warrior right here. On that poor defense tile. Okay. Warrior, worker gets done there, excuse me. And rather than improve the tiles around here, which would be useful, I would like to road to the new city location immediately. To help expedite the process of that settler arriving so I can get the city built sooner. Station ourselves there, and we'll take that tile. One turn to sailing. Okay, build a barracks for a turn then. Six turns until that border pop happens? Okay. Let's have you be the one who goes over here to improve these tiles. Fortify there for me. And fortify there too.
You can't direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
Alright, we'll get our lighthouse out. Lighthouse is required for the Great Lighthouse, which we can build after we get masonry. And our strength is technically higher than that of Napoleon's because of all the all the warriors we've built. Ooh! Unexpected. Damn, I really thought he'd go for the coast. Well, that happens. If I was more convinced, if I really want that city spot more, I could have settled that first and then backfilled. But I thought this was a stronger second city site, and it definitely is a stronger second city site. That's unfortunate, though, that gets built there. I will probably raise that city. And just rebuild it on the location that I desire. That's fine. It creates a little bit of an interesting situation. Can't always get what I want there. That city spot, though. I mean, what the hell? Not on the freshwater. You do end up preserving that grassland, though, to farm. You do have access to the sheep in the first ring. Just got, like, shrugged. I don't know, I might keep it. I'll have to see how I feel whenever I attack him, whether or not I want to burn the damn thing. So where does City 3 end up being, then? If I can't settle that spot that I wanted. I guess I just settle it on that hill there. I know there's a fish resource out there. I will have to get a border pop for this city, though. And I'm not going mysticism anytime soon. Well, we'll end the first episode here. Fun and interesting already. Napoleon did not do what I expected on this map. That's perfectly fine by me. He also founded Buddhism, so... all manners of interesting shit already. I'll talk to you folks later.